Hi, I'm Jose Pineda, and I will be briefly going over my presentation for Linguistics 5015 Discourse Analysis. The general idea of my presentation will be a focus of intertextuality in an English language learning classroom. Before going into too much detail, I'll give a brief outline of my presentation today. First, I'll go over my discourse approach. Then I will introduce the text, give some examples of my analysis, verbal, as I do not have the space to go into too much detail into my analysis, and then I will be concluding. So overall, like I mentioned, I will be adopting a few concepts. The two concepts that I'll be using are conversational analysis and interactional social linguistics. I'll be looking into the interactions of the classroom discourse between teachers and students. I'll be viewing it as a renegotiation and negotiation of knowledge. How this fits with intertextuality is the recognition aspect. So in intertextuality, it is the interconnection of text and audience, how they receive and understand a text. Sometimes it could be something as explicit as a quote, merely sharing and reporting the text. Sometimes it could be building on ideas or reshaping ideas in a different manner. When done well, when recognized, it creates a sense of empowerment, a sense of joy even. When they clash, which is when I will focus, it creates kind of a power struggle, a sense of authority, a sense where the teacher feels they have to be an authority and act as the institution, where they have to do what the outcome of a syllabus demands. However, in second language learning, this is a bit more flexible, as we're just focusing on the learner using the language. And another idea that is relevant here is linguistic repertoire, which is basically saying a language learner can uses their first language, all their knowledge, everything that they have, and just kind of try to codify it or refit into English usage. So, and the text that I'll be using, there is a professor who has a website with resources available. At the end of this website, or throughout this course, he has Zoom lessons. And these Zoom lessons are more focused on conversation, as well as some grammatical points. But the idea of the Zoom lessons is language use and practice. It's pretty much random because it's open to anyone who has access to his website. It's not a paid course, and he has light gatekeeping. The conversation that I will be focusing on are two of them. One where he has an explicit teaching of past simple, where he has a gap fill activity, a question form activity, then finally into a discussion where he hopes that students will begin to use the past simple. And then another is a conversation based on a comprehension of a text, the theme being romance. So in the analysis, there's turn taking, which eventually leads to some conflicts. So an example, they'll do the turn taking for the gap fill activities, but finally when it gets to the question of, like, for example, what did you do this weekend, or what did you do, or when did you last go on vacation? Sometimes the student still will answer in present tense. The reaction of the teacher will be, oh, that's interesting. Yes, encouraging talking. But you will see that the reaction itself is kind of trying to shift the conversation. However, there are some positive shifts where the speakers are understanding of the topic and then just open up to different elements. So for example, in the romance conversation, it talks about passion. So then one of the students asks, oh, since this is so passionate, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this for free? So that's an example of tactical intertextuality. By using the element of Zoom and saying, oh, awareness of where they are, they say, they question the teacher, they shift roles even there. All of these are examples of linguistic repertoire, as all these students come from different backgrounds, different languages, and yet they're still codifying their experience and understanding to express themselves in English. So, in conclusion, This project will explore intertextuality framing in focusing on language learning practice. And it will allow for a more focus on the conversation and how the ideas are understood and reacted to, highlighting that intertextuality. And it will also show the conventions and expectations of language in general. This being one course, it's not going to speak for all language learning environments, and is also limited in the terms of the examples that I'm going to find. I might only do one or two. These are the references that I used and have helped me for this project, and I thank you for your time.